The journey of sound to the brain. Have you ever wondered how sound travels from its source all the way into your mind? How a simple vibration in the air transforms into something your brain understands as a song, a warning, a voice, or even a memory? Today, we're going to explore that incredible journey, step by step, from the moment sound is created to the instant your brain interprets it as meaning. Let's start with something familiar. Imagine someone playing a saw, trumpet. As the musician presses the valves and blows into the instrument, the trumpet vibrates and produces sound waves. These waves ripple outward through the air, creating invisible pressure changes that move in all directions. This is where your hearing begins, not inside your head, but out in the environment. These sound waves are first captured by the outer ear, also called the pinna. Its unique shape isn't just for show. It acts like a funnel, guiding sound efficiently. Into the ear canal, a narrow tunnel leading deeper into your head. This passage amplifies and channels the sound toward the eardrum. The eardrum is a thin membrane, roughly half the size of a dime. When sound waves strike it, it vibrates, just like the skin of a drum. These vibrations are not random. They follow the rhythm and frequency of the sound that entered. The eardrum's movement is then transferred to a chain of 3 tiny bones in the middle ear, the malleus, incus, and stapes, more commonly known as the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. These are the smallest bones in the human body, and they play a huge role. They function as a mechanical amplifier, increasing the intensity of the sound vibrations and transmitting them to a specialized structure called the cochlea. Now we enter the inner ear, where things get even more fascinating. The cochlea is a fluid-filled spiral structure that resembles a snail shell and is about the size of a small pea. Inside it lies the true magic of hearing. When the stapes bone vibrates against the cochlea's membrane, called the oval window, it sets the inner fluid into motion, like ripples in a pond. As the fluid moves, it stimulates thousands of microscopic hair-like structures called stereocilia, which sit atop hair cells lined throughout the cochlea's inner walls. These tiny hairs sway with the motion of the fluid, but they're not just moving passively. They're working. When they bend in response to these fluid waves, they open up ion channels that allow electrical charges to enter the hair cells. This electrical activity triggers the release of neurotransmitters, chemical messengers that pass the signal to the auditory nerve fibers. At this moment, the mechanical energy of sound has officially been transformed into an electrical signal. This signal is now on its way to the brain, but it's still not fully understood as sound. That understanding happens next. The electrical impulses travel along the auditory nerve toward the brainstem, where they are first sorted and organized. Then, the signals reach the auditory cortex, a specialized region in the brain's temporal lobe responsible for processing sound. Here, your brain analyzes everything: the pitch, volume, duration, location, and even the emotional tone of the yay sound. It determines whether it's a voice you know, a bird outside your window, a car approaching from behind, or a memory-triggering melody. All of this happens in milliseconds. And the cochlea is even more impressive when you consider how it separates different sound frequencies. It does this based on location. At the base of the cochlear spiral, Hair cells are tuned to detect high-pitched frequencies, like a flute or piccolo. As we move toward the middle, we encounter hair cells that detect mid-range sounds, like speech or a trumpet. And at the apex, or the top of the spiral, we find cells that are most sensitive to deep, low-pitched frequencies, such as a tuba or bass drum. This built-in sound map is called tonotopic organization, and it's mirrored in the brain's auditory cortex. That means certain areas of your brain process high tones, while others process lows, like an internal mixing board. Now let's pause for a second. Every time you listen to music, talk with someone, or even hear a whisper, this full process unfolds millions of times a day, often without you even realizing it. Your ears and brain are in constant coordination, turning the chaos of the outside world into meaningful information. And it's not just about hearing, it's also about safety, communication, and emotional connection. Think about how a baby calms when they hear their mother's voice, or how you instinctively turn when someone shouts your name. These are primal, powerful reactions deeply rooted in the journey of sound. Let's not forget, our brains also learn over time to recognize patterns in what we hear. That's why you can understand someone's voice in a noisy room or recognize a song after just a few notes. The brain doesn't just hear, it remembers, adapts, and interprets. And just like that, what began as a tiny vibration in the air becomes a moment of meaning in your mind. If this video helped you understand the science of hearing a little better, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the amazing connection between your ears and your brain. I'd love to know, what sound means the most to you? Tell us in the comments and help others reflect on their own experiences with sound. Protect your hearing, feed your curiosity, and stay sound. Take care. You are in control of your health.